You know, I have seen plenty of messed up campaigns. I've seen some campaigns and some candidates that were just absolutely dumb, stupid, all over the place, unorganized, non strategic. And I'll tell you right now, everybody knows that I'm really not that nice when it comes to a lot of Republicans. Um, that doesn't stop here. It really doesn't. Now, I'm not really going to do this in order because I'm just kind of throw out random stuff here, and some of this I'm going to read off of here because this is how bad and embarrassing this campaign was. And anybody who has paid just a little bit of attention to the campaign, like you don't even have to see half the campaign. All you need to see is a fraction of a percentage of this campaign. And you'll just know how dumb it was and how dumb this guy sounded. Before I get to my favorite parts, let me just throw out some of the stuff that I'm sure that most of us have already heard. You know, this guy's a Republican, and as a general political rule, when it comes to the issue of abortion, most Democrats and people on the left tend to be more pro-choice, which means that they support and respect a woman's decision to abort. And generally, as a rule, more people on the right and conservatives and Republicans tend to be more pro-life, which in this particular regard means that they are against the idea of a woman having an abortion, even though there are many conservative women who have had abortions. One of them actually told me that. A couple actually told me that before. So, you know, and there was a story that came out, and it was pretty big for the time being, that he paid a woman that I guess he was dating in the past, that, you know, he got her pregnant and then paid her to have an abortion. Apparently he did it with another girl. Now, according to this story here, this is according to The Guardian. And of course, this article is over a month old because, you know, the election just happened. So this came out. It says Herschel Walker admits to writing $700 check but denies it was for abortion. The Georgia Republican candidate for Senate claims he has no idea what the money was used for. Confronted on Sunday with receipts that appear to prove he paid for the abortion of a woman he once dated, staunch anti-abortionist Herschel Walker, Georgia's Republican candidate for the U.S. Senate, had a ready response: "It's a lie." Walker is competing for a Senate seat considered pivotal to determining which party controls the chamber in the November midterms, but his campaign has spent weeks under fire under reports emerged earlier this month that Walker, who has publicly argued that abortion should be illegal nationwide without exceptions, just like Tudor Dixon said, sent the unnamed woman money to end her pregnancy. In an interview with NBC News, Herschel Walker was presented with an image of a check for $700 written in 2009, to which he responded, "Yes, that's my check." However, he disputed that its purpose was to pay for the termination of the woman's pregnancy. He maintained his denial even after NBC showed him a receipt from the clinic where the woman, whose name was not revealed by the network but who has said she is also the mother of one of Walker's children, underwent the abortion. You know, let me see if I'm having a hard time understanding that. However, he disputed that its purpose was to pay for the termination of the woman's pregnancy. Well, but wait a second. I thought he said it wasn't for the abortion. Well, when you say terminate a pregnancy, well, what does that mean? So if she's not going to, again, maybe there's a lot of stuff about that I don't know, but that's exactly what that sounds like. He's saying two opposite things. They don't. So I don't even know if he even knows what's going on in this. I don't know if he knows what it's about. There's a picture of him with Trump. Good grief. He said it's a lie. Walker said, saying that it's not unusual he would send money to someone with whom he had a child. He said, quote unquote, "I know that that's what people want to know. It's a lie." Walker also said that he has helped the woman forever and had no idea what the $700 might have been for. Okay. But again, an article that came out about a week after that, October 26th, Herschel Walker faces... I'm sorry, it just went away right quick. Second woman says that Herschel Walker paid for abortion. And it's like, good grief. So I think a lot of Republicans didn't even really know how to handle this when this story came out. A lot of Republicans, like Mitch McConnell and Mitt Romney and Ted Cruz and Matt Gaetz and like all these people were looking at him saying, I mean, they probably didn't do this publicly, but I'm sure they did it in private. I'm sure they were calling him on the phone or texting him and saying, hey, I thought you're a Republican. You're supposed to be anti-abortion. And what's all this? Like, you're supposed to be one of us. I'm sure that conversation took place. I'm sure it did. I have no proof that conversation took place. I don't hang around in Republican circles, so I don't know. I have no reason to go to any of their rallies or events, so I can't say for sure. It's a theory, not a fact. A second woman is accusing Herschel Walker of pressuring her into having an abortion, calling the Republican a quote-unquote hypocrite for campaigning against abortion while allegedly pushing her to get one in 1993. Herschel Walker is a hypocrite, she said. Herschel Walker is a hypocrite and he is not fit to be a U.S. Senator. We don't need people in the U.S. Senate who profess one thing and do another. So, I mean, you kind of get the gist of that. So that was one major thing that went wrong with this campaign. Now, I'm going to get to something a little juicier. Well, hold on. Let's go here. Democrats emphasize, this was according to NBC News, Democrats emphasize Herschel Walker's threats against ex-wife in new Georgia ad. Democrats are escalating their attacks on Herschel Walker with a new television ad that calls attention to the violent episodes in his past. Herschel Walker has repeatedly threatened to kill his ex-wife, begins the narrator of the 30-second spot from Georgia Honor, a political organization closely affiliated with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and his Senate Majority PAC. The ad, shared first with NBC News, starts airing Wednesday as part of a $33 million blitz that the group has planned through Election Day. It represents the first substantial effort by national Democrats to amplify abuse allegations against Walker, a former University of Georgia football star who played in the NFL. Walker's threats and alleged menacing behavior towards his ex-wife, Cindy Grossman, and other women date to at least 2001, according to police records obtained by NBC News and other outlets. Walker has never been criminally charged, but he and Grossman discussed several incidents publicly after Walker's 2008 memoir described his... I'm sorry, it kind of went away. Oh, okay, there we go. Described his being diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, formerly known as multiple personality disorder. Walker said that he developed alters to deal with stress and trauma, and he has noted how memory loss is a symptom of that disorder. You know, I've seen some disputes about that. I've listened to one of my podcasters talk about that. There's no exact proof of what happened with that, but I mean, again, that doesn't look good. So that was number two. And now we can get to some of my favorites. So I can tell you this, and I don't even have to pull this up because I remember I watched this. This happened during the debate. This guy lied about having been a police officer in the state of Georgia. But then the county that he said that he was a police in, you had police officials there that were saying, no, this guy was never an officer here. The guy pulls out a badge on the debate stage. It's a fake badge. And the interaction between him and the moderator, who was a woman, she said, it was hilarious. She said, Mr. Walker, first of all, you're not allowed to bring that on. First of all, that's a prop. It's a prop. You can't bring that here on the stage. We cannot. And then he tried to say something like, oh, but you know, this is right here. No, sir, we can't have that on here. That's a prop. You know, you're not supposed to bring that on here. We're going to have to take that away, blah, blah, blah. Like, here's the thing. Do you know that this is how you know the guy is such a child that I remember my teachers from preschool, kindergarten, and early elementary school. That's how they would talk to their children. Okay. It's like, hey, you know, you're not supposed to do that. You know, you're not supposed to bring that. No, that's unacceptable. No, we don't do that. That's how the moderator was talking to him. And that was just so embarrassing. I'm like, okay, the guy brings a fake badge to the debate stage. And then this one right here is my all-time favorite. This is my all-time favorite right here. This is on Twitter, this is on Aaron Rupar's page. This got over 13,000 likes, over 4,000 quote tweets, and over 3,600 retweets. This guy goes into a tangent about, he goes into this monologue about vampires and werewolves. I really, really wish I could make this up, but I cannot. I'm going to play parts of this. I don't need to play the whole thing because I don't want to give anybody brain damage and I don't want to like destroy anybody's brain cells. But I'm going to tell you just before I play it, I'm not going to repeat the verbatim. I'm going to tell you what he said and how he said it. Sounded so dumb, so stupid, so incoherent, so unintelligent. If you take a George Bush speech and a Donald Trump speech and put it together, it sounds like that, but with a splash of ghetto to it. That's really what this sounds like. Now, again, you can hear it for yourself. This is what Herschel Walker said. This took place, this was November 16th. Okay, listen to this.
I want to tell you to keep the faith. Oh, you ever watch a stupid movie late at night, hoping it's going to get better, don't get better, but you keep watching it anyway? Because the other night, I was watching this movie. Called Freak Night, or some kind of night, but it was about vampires. I don't know if you know vampires and cool people, or they not, but I'm going to tell you something that I found out.
Herschel, vampires are not real. Okay? Because I might as well sit there and tell you, hey, unicorns and Loch Ness Monster and they're all cool. Hey, Santa Claus, Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny. Yeah, they're all such cool people. But hey, go on.
Werewolf can kill a vampire. Did you know that? I never knew that, so I didn't want to be a vampire anymore. I wanted to be a werewolf. But then anyway, as I'm watching this movie, and they can tell how stupid it is because it's 1 a.m. So I'm watching my TV. These kids watching.
He said, I'm going to tell you how stupid it is. Well, we're not learning about how stupid the movie is. This reveals how stupid you are, Herschel. But go ahead.
Watching their TV, vampire kill on their TV. So you know it's kind of stupid, but I'm still watching though. As I'm watching this show, what was funny, these kids had a vampire in their attic at their house. So they were watching their TV. Now I'm watching my TV as they're watching their TV, or they see the vampire killer on their TV. So they win this contest to bring this actor. Now y'all got to stay with me. Bring this actor who's a vampire killer from that TV to get rid of this real life vampire in their attic. So as this actor comes to their home, he got all the right stuff. He got all the right stuff because you got to have a stake and got to have a thing to kill him in the heart. And he got a necklace of garlic because that worked. I don't know what it does, but it worked. You got to have a cross because it burned. I know that worked. And then all of a sudden, this is what was so funny about it. As they're walking through the house, this guy got the holy water. He's blessing the house, this actor. Now, he's all fake. He's blessing the house with this holy water. They walked upstairs and this vampire looking real good in this black suit. Whoa, that sounds like Senator Warnock, doesn't it? Looking all good in this black suit, floated from the ceiling. He floated from the ceiling looking good and cool. And I'm thinking, whoa, they better get out of that house. If somebody float from your ceiling, get out of that house. That's not your house. But as he floated from the ceiling, the kids jumped behind their hero. As they jumped behind their hero, the guy jumped in front of him with this holy water, threw it on the vampire's forehead. He covered his eyes. Then he took his hand away. He started laughing. And he said, that don't work. He took the cross, he put it on the vampire's forehead. And the vampire didn't even do anything. He said, that don't work. And that's the way it is in our life. It doesn't even work unless you got faith. It is time for us to have faith. We got to have faith in our fellow brother. We got to have faith in this country. We got to have faith in the elected officials. And right now, that's the reason I'm here. Because God, I want to tell you.
A lot of you who just heard that for the first time, I'm sure at least 99% of you are asking the same question that I asked when I first heard that. That question is, what the hell did he just say? I have no clue. I do not get that at all. Now, Raphael Warnock, who was the Democrat who just got reelected, he just got over 1.8 million votes, and Herschel got over 1.7 million votes. So yes, it was a close race. my question goes to the 1.7 million people who voted for Herschel. Based off of not only what he said, but more so how he said it, do you really want that in your government? I can tell you right now, see, Barack Obama came out in 2008. Well-spoken, eloquent, intelligent, educated, mature, civil. He's clear. If he came out talking like that, he would have never been president. John McCain would have easily won 2008. And if Obama tried to run in 2012, Mitt Romney would have easily won that election, assuming that John McCain wouldn't have been reelected. But, I mean, can you imagine that guy being in our Senate or anywhere in our government? Can you imagine this guy talking about foreign policy? Imagine him talking about terrorists and bombs. Senator Walker, what do you think about ISIS? What do you think about that? Let me tell you something about ISIS. See, it don't even look like ISIS. It look like is. Yeah, that's something that he would say. It look like is. Because this is whatever is. And all them bombs be all over the place. And bombs, they be going off like boom, 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 boom. And bombs be going off, and terrorists be yelling. They be wearing them crazy clothes. They got all them dangerous weapons and all that. Boom, 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 boom. We got to close our eyes so we don't be seeing it. We got to go like, ooh. Like, I guarantee you that if he got to the government, that's exactly what he would say. That's exactly how he would sound. And I got to tell you, it's unbelievable that this many people even voted for him. I understand it's Georgia. I understand Georgia's a heavily Republican state. But so this right here, this is the gist of why he lost. These are everything that I've stated in this video. These are the main reasons he lost. I mean, I know some people might have some other reasons. They might sit there and say, well, again, this isn't me saying this. I mean, I'm sure somebody has said, oh, he's a black guy who was endorsed by people like Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell and Ted Cruz people. I said, well, even without that, I mean, that doesn't look good in and of itself. But even without that, I mean, all those other things that I listed in this video, that was enough to kill his campaign. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to add to this. I'm trying to think, what could he possibly say? Like, if he was in our government, I'm trying to think of something like, what if he got asked a question about immigration? If he was asked a question about Mexicans and them Mexicans, my president said that they was rapists and murderers and all that stuff. Them some crazy looking folks right there. They got that skin color. They ain't as dark as me, but they dark. They a little bit dark. They say they ain't as bright as like white folks and whatnot, but they got a strange little color to them. They might be some cool people, but they may not be that cool. I'm sure he would say that. So this is why he lost. The guy, and during the debate, throughout most of it, he did exactly what Tudor Dixon did. He did exactly what Dr. Oz, and I think there was a guy by the name of Mastriano. I think Doug Mastriano. I think he was the one that ran in Pennsylvania. And then you had Blake Masters in Arizona. All the Republicans who backed Trump and his lie about Joe Biden cheated the election. He was pushing that, and the guy, he was pushing the big lie. He is totally incoherent. He's unintelligent. He's uneducated. The guy just is not fit for office in any way, shape, or form. Okay, he probably should have just stayed in sports, stay being the football player, or whatever, or just pursue something else, because this obviously wasn't a good fit. Herschel, this obviously wasn't a good fit for you. So go on now. Go and take that on somewhere else. Now go on now with that. Now go on with that mess. Now go on now with that booty. Go on now. Go on now. Go on now. Just trying to speak your language so you understand it. So, folks, that's why he lost. And congratulations to Raphael Warnock.